What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're headed over to Troy Boy's house. Gonna go pick up the Camaro SS. Today is opening day for the little local 8th mile track up north, US 36, which we go to all the time during race season. Today is about Troy. This guy, this will be his first time at the drag strip with a rear-wheel drive car. This will be the first time at the drag strip with a turbo rear-wheel drive car. And I'm pumped. We're not gonna try and go super fast. The car doesn't have a cage, so there's that. My man's got a family. I'm gonna try and keep him honest. Mainly, I wanna see what this thing's gonna, 60 foot and 330. We'll try and hopefully get a couple passes in, depending on how many people show up. If there's a bunch of people there, we might not be able to get many passes, so that may be a one and done. If that's the case, we're just gonna try and run it on wastegate, see what it runs, and see what it makes on wastegate. Because we had the issue on the dyno where the map sensor was scaled wrong, and that definitely screwed some shit up. I'm going up there. He's got some family stuff to do for the next couple hours, and then he's gonna meet me up there. Hopefully he doesn't drive like a grandma and he gets there soon enough. If he doesn't get there soon enough, I'm gonna hop in a seat and I'm gonna drive it. But yeah, we're gonna go up, try and make a 60 foot, a 330, and if everything looks good, then maybe we'll run it out the back. Mainly because they're gonna tell him they can't go any faster than like 650. I would assume. It might actually be slower than that because it doesn't have a cage at all. I don't know, that's a good question. Hopefully they actually let us race. They might not. They might be like, no, sorry guys, you can't drive it at all. And I'll just tell them, like, look, we're just trying to make some 60 foot hits and some 330 hits. So we're not trying to set the world on fire with this thing, and maybe they'll let us run. But if I'm driving all the way up there, they better. Anyways, we're gonna get over here. We're gonna load the car up and hit the road and head on up to US 36. All right, he's gonna go up and try and tech, and hopefully the tech guy lets him run. We have no idea what it's gonna do. Just gonna try and make some 60 foot hits, 330 hits, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll run it out the back door and try and see if we can run a 650 with it. Make sure you got it first. Well, that sounded like it may have been a little spicy. We'll pull the log and see what happened. It sounded like it got out a little bit and then just hit the tire really hard. So we put 5 pounds on the dome. 5 pounds may be entirely too much for that. So we'll pull the log.
I heard something.
You heard something?
It sounded weird.
Because it's got turbo and it's not all motor anymore.
At least it went at 7.
Did it? 780? Pull the log and see what happened. And see what kind of boost it made. Here goes Garrett. Second pass of the night. First pass went at 530. Got the Mueller 427 in it. Little baby 88 millimeter. So he says. that log was shit. That log was shit. Had some boost issues. That thing made way too much boost, and not real sure why. It's got a new dome sensor in it, and I mean, it's regulated to 100 pounds. I don't know. It made way too much boost, and I don't know why. So we're gonna have to reevaluate this whole boost controller setup on this car. Probably replace a couple things, and then go from there. But we disconnected the controller, disconnected the back lines to the tops of the gates, so they should vent, and just gonna run it on gate and see what it does. All right, here we go. I told him just run it out. It's 8:30. We may not get another chance, who knows. I said piss on it, if it feels good, run it. Let's see. Gate. That's a 666. Well, I can't tell what that was. It looked like a 666, which is kind of terrifying. We'll get the slip and see what it says. Pull the log and see what happened. And see what kind of boost this thing made. See how he feels about it. How was that?
What did it say I went?
Like a 666?
Okay. Because the number's different.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I saw like a 666. Yeah, the number's different because you don't have a number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He told me, he was like, you're number 1. I was like, okay. I hit the limiter in first.
Yeah, I heard it. You were on it pretty good in first. So that's 666 with a 108 mile an hour.
Oh.
All right, we'll pull the log and see what it says. That wasn't a good enough burnout, Troy. Too spicy. I'm gonna have to tame that down a little bit. Damn it. Definitely want him to go one more. We're gonna see what Garrett does here. Better. I hate not being able to see the clock at night. When I zoom in on it, the camera just freaks out. But I think that was a 59. Still hit the limiter in first, or first to second. Yeah, hit the limiter in first. But the gear change was a lot better. So I'd say that's probably gonna do it for the night. Yeah, We'll get up here, check out the slip. Hopefully it 60 footed better. I'm not sure that it did. It sounded good, but I'm not sure he was on it long enough. But we'll pull the log, look at the slip, see what it did. All right, we're gonna try one more pass. He hit the limiter on that last one, ran a 69, so we're gonna try and go a little bit faster this one. Well, we made it back after Troy made his last pass. Car knocked the tire off of it again on the starting line. The track had started to go away, and at this point there wasn't nothing we could do about it. It was like 9:30, and we made his last pass. So we loaded up. My buddy Garrett, he made a couple good licks, and he was loaded up, and everybody was headed home. We all kind of left a little separately from one another, and Troy got a head start on me. He left. And then I sat around for another 15 or 20 minutes talking to Garrett. And then I left. And then Garrett left shortly after me. So as I got down the highway, I decided about halfway home I was going to stop and get something to drink. So I pull off the exit for gas and something to drink. And then Garrett flies past me. He's like 90 mile an hour on the highway. This dude had to work at like 3 o'clock the next morning. And by the time we were doing this, I think by the time I was stopping, it was 11 o'clock, I think is what it was. And so I pull off the exit, and at the stoplight, my truck started running really funny. I was like, that's weird. I didn't think nothing about it. Got into the gas station, hopped out, put a little bit of fuel in it. It was only like a half tank, so I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and get some gas too. But it started up, it won't start. Start, die. Start, it'll run for a minute, then start missing and popping and backfiring and then die. And it did this for probably about 10 or 12 minutes. And I tried to start it probably half dozen times. I thought, shit, I'm stranded. Troy's way out ahead of me. Now Garrett's out ahead of me. I don't have anybody behind me that can help me. So I called Troy. I'm like, my truck's broke down. It won't start. He's like, what? Yeah, it won't start. I'm stuck here. Troy's normally the only person I would call to come help me, especially late at night. He's like, okay. And then we're on the phone, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, crap. I said, what? He said, I think my tire just blew out. So I was like, no, it didn't. He's like, yeah, hold on. So he like pulls off the side of the road, gets out. One of his tires exploded. He's like, now I'm stranded. So now we're both stranded. I'm about probably 45 minutes from home, and he's probably 15, 20 minutes from home. I was like, son of a monkey. So ended up, I get off the phone with him. He's like, I got to call you back. And I was like, okay. So he gets off the phone. I get off the phone. And then my buddy Garrett calls me. He's like, I think Troy's broke down on the highway. He's like, do you need me to go help him? I said, well, actually, I'm broke down too. He's like, where at? I said, at the gas station you passed me by. He's like, son of a biscuit. So he's like, I'm going to turn around and help Troy. And then, let me know if you need help afterwards. So he turns around, his truck and trailer, goes back, helps Troy. I finally get my truck to start. It still sounds really bad, but I tried a couple times where I would start it and put it in gear and it would die. And mind you, I'm towing Troy's car. Troy met me up there. So he drove separate. Luckily, and that's what I told him, I said, this is kind of a blessing in disguise. Like, you didn't have the trailer behind your truck and had a tire blowout on your truck, because it could have been bad. So we're thankful for that. That was definitely a blessing in disguise. But anyways, I finally get the truck to start. I get it out of the parking lot of the gas station, because at this point I've moved the truck a couple times before it died. And then I'm in the middle of the intersection of this gas station. So I finally get it going. I'm like, neutral drop this thing, just let her go. I whip out on the highway and I was like, I got to try and get closer to home. The closer I get to home when this thing actually dies, the cheaper my tow bill is. So, and I don't have anybody to help me. I don't have any other friends with trucks that I can call late at night and get them to help me. Troy is the only one. So I end up trucking on down the highway. It runs good at, highway speeds. It's fine. It downshifts. It does everything. And I end up passing Troy and them on the highways. They had to mess with his truck for a while. Didn't have the spare tire key and stuff inside of it. I mean, it was a wild evening as far as that goes. It was just, at this point, it's like midnight. So I fly on past them, call them. I'm like, look, I can't stop because if I stop and this thing dies, I'm screwed. So I've got to go as far as I can. So luckily I made it home. I got home and I no sooner got home, called both of them. They're like, yeah, we got it. We're good. We're headed, whatever. So they were on the road and they're good. Anyways, good day at the track. First time with Troy and his turbo car. Not setting the world on fire, but it's the fastest he's been so far. So PB's for him. We had issues the first pass where the car made too much boost. The boost controller stuff has got to be jacked up or something. The wiring's got to be messed up because if you look at the log, the target dome is flat, but actual dome is all over the place, which makes no sense because it's targeting something, but it's not hitting it, and it's doing way too much and it's never even getting there. I've never seen them overshoot it that far. So yeah, we've got some work to do on that, but we ended up running the last few passes on wastegate only, which was like 9.5 pounds. Car went 660s with a pretty slow 60 foot. The tires on his car are pretty wore out, so it's gonna need some tires and whatnot. It needs some things. It's already faster than it needs to be with the safety equipment that it has, so there's that. But we do have some upgrades we need to do, some wiring we need to fix, and just all part of racing, part of building cars. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep following along. We'll see you on the next one.